Hey, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name's Keyshawn and I'm a military wife and proud stay-at-home mom to two little girls aged 3 and under. I'm also a full-time college student online receiving my bachelor's in public health. So life's quite a juggling act, but I believe in embracing every challenge that comes my way. In today's video, I'll be doing some deep cleaning in my kitchen. We PCS'd and moved into this home a little over a year now. And honestly, the whirlwind of settling in, keeping up with my studies, and taking care of my little ones, let's just say the concept of deep cleaning kind of took a backseat. But deep cleaning isn't just about scrubbing and polishing. It's about refreshing the spaces that hold the heartbeat of our everyday lives. Life gets busy, priorities shift, and it's essential to carve out those moments to reorganize, reevaluate, and reinvigorate. So to all of those wonderful mamas out there, I want you to know that you're not alone in this beautiful chaos. It's okay if things get a little messy along the way. And in those moments when it feels overwhelming, just remember to take a deep breath and know that you're doing an incredible job juggling the roles you play, whether it's nurturing, learning, or pursuing your own dreams. So let's do this. Let's dive into the messiness of life with courage and determination. Whether you're tackling a long neglected kitchen or taking steps towards your own aspirations, remember that each effort you put in is a reflection of your love and dedication. Keep shining, keep loving, and keep embracing every moment. Thanks for being a part of this journey with me, and I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be starting off by cleaning my cabinets. I quickly realized that these knobs are absolutely disgusting, so I'm gonna go ahead and take each of them off all over the kitchen and give them a deep clean. These are the original knobs that came with this house, and it looks like they've never been cleaned since this house was built, but I'm hoping after spraying some of this heavy degreaser on that they will come right up. I'm gonna let those soak while I wipe down the rest of the cabinets. I'm just using soap with my Scrub Mommy, and then I'm following that up with a damp microfiber cloth. This is a very used kitchen. I love to cook and my girls are in here often, so it was definitely time to get it a good clean. We PCS'd last year and moved into this home, so it's been well overdue for a deep clean. After soaking those for the rest of the time, it looks like they're getting nice and clean, so I'm going to go ahead and scrub them. I added some soapy water to kind of help loosen up any of the leftover debris, but after rinsing, they got really clean, so I'm pretty hopeful that this will do the trick. There's a few people in my neighborhood that have actually just replaced the knobs, but unfortunately I don't really care to put that much money or effort into a rental, so I was really hoping that this would work, and it seems like it's going to be exactly what it needs to get all cleaned up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish scrubbing these before I set them out to dry. I don't know why I was surprised by how disgusting this water was, because the knobs were really dirty, but the water was really dark. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give these one final rinse before letting them dry. Now I'm going to be moving on to my back door. This door is in dire condition, so I'm going to go ahead and try out the pink stuff and use my Scrub Mommy to see how many of these stains I can get up. I recently discovered the pink stuff, and if you're even thinking about buying it, I highly recommend you do.
But honestly, these bells, like, they keep the kids from... I can always hear someone's touching my door. Like, of course an intruder, but also the kids. Gosh, they can't get past these bells. This is such a mom hack. But if you're listening to me, I'm talking to my sister on the phone. I highly recommend every mom to get bells for their doors if they have toddlers. Because no toddler is getting out of this house without me hearing it first. I mean, because a camera, okay, you could say a camera, but we have cameras, and I don't always like if we're being really honest here, you don't check it every single time. Like, unless you're on guard, like you're out the house or it's nighttime.
Okay, moving on to the oven. It is absolutely disgusting. I have not cleaned it since Thanksgiving of last year. But I got a little extra motivation when I was watching a TikTok video and someone was sharing how to take the door off of the oven to make it a bit easier to clean. I do somewhat regret spraying the door before I removed it, but nonetheless, this ended up being so helpful. So I kind of showed it. It went by pretty fast, but basically there's two locks on either side of the door hinge, and once you pull those locks down, it releases the door and you can just close it partially and slide it up and out. I would definitely recommend looking up a more detailed explanation, but this made the cleaning process so much easier, and I'll definitely be remembering this hack for a future reference. For this cleaning, I used the pink stuff. I started off with my Scrub Mommy, then I switched to my steel scrubber. If used correctly, this can work similar to a scraper or a blade and won't leave any scratches. I just use light and even pressure. I prefer to use this because it's a little more universal. I can buy packs of these, and I also use them on my pots and pans, but this worked really well. And then I followed up by using a damp microfiber cloth to wipe the surface really well. I went over this like 2 or 3 times. I didn't exactly show you all of it, but I want to make sure that I rinse all of this product off since it's really strong, and I don't want any residual chemicals in my oven once I decide to use it again. I decided to look underneath the drawer in the oven, and oh my goodness, this was a surprise. I knew it was probably starting to get bad because I haven't even looked under here since I moved, but gosh, I didn't realize how many things actually slid under here. I didn't want to move the oven entirely, and I'm actually really glad that I did because this linoleum is not completely in place underneath, and I think if I would have moved it, I would have been risking further damage, and I don't want to be liable for that. So I did what I could to get my vacuum in there, and then after spraying it with some Lysol, I used this bottle brush and a rag to kind of get back there and brush everything else out. This got clean enough for me. I don't need it to be perfect. I just definitely wanted to be able to rest assured that there was no major messes under here that might attract bugs. And so I got it all nice and cleaned up, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean the drawer itself. I just went in with my Scrub Mommy and some soap. You'd be surprised how, for most items, a little dish soap will go a long ways to remove grease and grime. So I did that, and then I followed up with a microfiber before putting this drawer back in place. Now I'm starting to deep clean my fridge. I always like to start by clearing off any artwork and kind of cleaning off the front and outside of my fridge. I rotate my artwork monthly because we're always sort of, doing crafts with the girls. So I'll take off the old art from this month and get some fresh space for some new art. But in between, I like to give it a really good wipe. So I do a deep clean about once a month, but I clean the inside of my fridge once a week. I like to do this in preparation for grocery shopping. So as it stands in this video, I haven't grocery shopped yet, so don't be surprised when I show you my fridge and my cabinets if they look a little bare. I definitely don't like bringing groceries into a cluttered kitchen, and I don't like putting groceries away into a dirty fridge. It's just my personal preference. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this water dispenser that we don't use, and then I'll be moving on into the fridge. When we moved here, I was using this water dispenser, and everyone kept telling me that the water tasted funny, but I personally don't have like a preference for water. I don't taste the difference between different brands and stuff like that, so I didn't really notice what people were talking about until I talked to my maintenance, and they told me that the house doesn't come with a fridge filter. Something about liability, I don't know. I really wish they would have told me before, or like when I moved in, because I've been drinking basically tap water for months, and that kind of grossed me out. So I no longer really use this water dispenser, which is why it kind of gets a little gross sometimes. But now I'm gonna go ahead and move into the fridge. I'm gonna start by taking everything out so I can get a good look at what I have, see if any items are expired, throw out any old leftovers that haven't been eaten, and get everything ready for a good scrub. And again, I really like to just use dish soap and water in my appliances, so if you're wondering what product I use in the fridge, it's really just hot soapy water.
'Cause I find my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. 'Cause I found my way.
From a different star, flying over streets and the broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the lead. Ooh, getting caught in the maze, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts. Ooh, but we go and we run to the end and we run without shame. We own the game, and we run on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. shade. We own the game, and we ride on the flames till the morning light. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Ain't nobody gonna hold us down. Break all the rules, let them run and hide. Baby, 'cause we're dynamite. Gonna let the world know. Gonna let the world know.
Okay, so now that we got that general clean out of the way, I'm going to start wiping each item down and arranging it back inside the fridge. Now, I do not have a aesthetic kitchen. I don't have all the fancy organizing products. Unfortunately, when we moved from our Hawaii apartment, I made the mistake of leaving my organizers. The movers came and packed so quickly that I completely forgot to get my organizers out of my fridge, and I even left some organizers from my pantry, so I haven't gotten around to buying new ones, and for now we're just dealing with it. So if you're coming here to see that, that's not what this is. Here on this channel, I'm just sharing my real life, mom life, homemaking, and you know, it's not always about the aesthetic. And I actually really believe that we shouldn't care so much about those things, and we shouldn't judge ourselves so harshly on, you know, the things that we have and the homes that we live in. It's really not about that. I hope that through my videos, you can just gain some motivation and feel empowered to tackle your own to-do list and some of your own messes. A big reason why I started this channel is I personally love watching cleaning videos. For the first year after my husband and I got married, I was solely a stay-at-home wife and mom. We shared one car, and I lived in a small apartment in Hawaii. And I got so tired of cleaning the same messes every day. And I know if you're a mama and you're listening, you're watching this video, this probably resonates with you because it can sometimes be overwhelming and even somewhat defeating to tackle the same mess every single day, and it just feels like it's never ending. You finish one task and there's another waiting for you. And I always found such a sense of satisfaction and motivation from watching other people clean their homes that it's really one of the only things that kept me going during that time. Fast forward now, my girls are a lot older. We have 2 cars. And in general, we just have to remember that it gets better. And if you're a stay-at-home mom, this is truly such a small period of time in the grand scheme of life, and ultimately such a beautiful blessing. And I try to remember that me being able to be home with my girls and be their first teacher and bond with them is the biggest blessing of my life. I'm so thankful for my husband providing this life for us and getting up and going to work every day so that we can stay home. I really enjoy having a YouTube channel of my own now. I find it really fun and satisfying to make my own videos, and sometimes they're the only evidence that I've actually gotten something done. So I really hope, if you're still watching, that you enjoy this channel, and if you haven't already, that you consider subscribing, because I truly appreciate each and every one of you for making my dream come true and keeping me motivated. I can't wait to see this channel grow and see where it goes. So thank you so much for watching, and stick around because when I'm all finished with this fridge, I'll be moving on to some of my troubled areas in my cabinets. My husband is a lot more organized than I am. We are like a perfect team. My husband organizes, he buys all the organization tools that I might need, and I clean. But with that said, I can have a junk drawer and completely turn a cheek to it. I will live with it until I can't anymore. But I know it drives my husband crazy. So I'm going to finally get around to my junk drawers, and I'm going to show you them. I'm going to pay special attention to my spice cabinet and to my pantry. It looks so much better in here. And I have a few tips and tricks that I'll be sticking in there too. So stay tuned.
Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights up, done with my own doubts.
So as I was going through this cabinet, I looked up and I realized how dusty these jars that I have up here are. I've been growing my collection of mason jars slowly throughout the 4 years my husband and I have been married, and I like to store non-perishable food in them, but unfortunately since the move I've kind of neglected my stash, and a lot of the things really needed to be sorted out if they're still any good, if there's anything that probably should just be tossed. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take some time to sort out these jars after I finish cleaning out my spice cabinet. If you're ever wondering where my kids are when I'm filming, well, here you are. They're never too far. Today, Madeline decided to play with her little people right under my feet. And honestly, I just kind of let her because I needed to get this done and couldn't get it all done during nap time. So I'm just gonna kind of move around her and she's gonna play here. So I really like to be resourceful, so I repurposed these Melissa and Doug box cartons for my pantry. These were actually on someone's porch as a curbler without the actual food that's meant to be inside of them. If you're not familiar with what curbler is, it's a really popular thing that military communities do where they basically post free items on a community page and then set them on their porch, and you can pick up at your own discretion, first come, first serve. Well, anyways, I found these boxes and I figured I could do something with them, and they really came in handy for organizing this small pantry space here. So yeah, there's that. That's where I got those from. And then if you're wondering where I got all of my mason jars, I've actually been slowly collecting them. We like to buy the Classico spaghetti sauce, and if you soak the labels, they come right off and you can keep the jars. So pro tip, if you didn't know already, that's a really easy way to obtain mason jars. And you know, we love spaghetti in this house, so we eat it sometimes twice a month or more. So yeah, this is my small collection, but I felt like it would get way better use in this cabinet as opposed to up above the cabinets where it was prior to this. So now I'm gonna move on to my food pantry. This is my larger pantry and it's in shambles. I really have let it go, and it's gone so bad that I don't even know what's in here. As you've seen, I found some restaurant sauce packets that must have exploded in the heat and caused a mess. I had linens in here, snacks, canned goods, you name it. And honestly, it's just gotten really out of hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take everything out, give it a good wipe down, sweep out the bottom, and then I'm gonna go ahead and organize and put everything back.
I leave the TV on, I'm done with your sad eyes. on like this, so let's go. I'm sure you can take it. You've been crying over him for a lifetime, so if you don't mind, we will dance till it's way past sleep. Another course that we can fly with the baseline. I know. Boys be boys, ain't no excuse, babe. Now hey you, oh hey you, I know you can find someone better. Oh hey you, oh hey you. He's a vagabond, he won't love you better. I can watch you sinking down on the bottom ship. So come to 10, then again, Mississippi. You've been crying over him for a lifetime, so if you don't mind, we will dance till it's way past sleep. Another course that we can fly with the baseline. Boys be boys, ain't no excuse, babe. Now hey you, oh hey you, I know you can find someone better. Oh hey you, oh hey you.
Again, I really like to reuse items to make use of them, and so I realized we had 2 boxes of this instant ramen, so I decided to place all of the ramen packets in one of these boxes and use the second box as a means to organize. This is kind of like a temporary solution until I get some plastic bins. I did something similar in my Hawaii apartment before I got my organization stuff, and you know, it's not exactly the prettiest solution, but it definitely makes a difference in terms of how everything sits in the shelves. After looking in this cabinet, I actually decided that I think it would make more sense for my extra spices to go up above my microwave. I already had some cooking oils and vinegars and stuff like that up here, so I felt like that just made the most sense. And then I'm gonna go ahead and place all these extra non-perishable items in my extra mason jars, and then I sorted them by stuff that I used to bake down at the bottom, and then canned goods up at the top. And I just love how this turned out. It looks really beautiful and such a huge transformation from how it started. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for sticking around to watch, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.